Hello Internet, in this video I will show you step by step how I installed this 78-inch clear frameless shower door made by Allen & Roth, and this is the Davidson edition. It is sold at Lowe's. Keep watching. The first step is taking it out of the box, reading all the instructions, and noting the hardware. So the next step is to attach the wall track, which is this piece of metal here. It has 3 holes, one towards the top, one exactly in the middle, and then one equidistant on the very bottom. And I have my trusty Dovo laser level, and I have it set at exactly 32 inches from the wall there. It is plumb all the way up, and so you can see this, but I'll be simply putting this in flush to the floor, centering it with the laser, and then marking those 3 holes. So my holes are marked, the 3 holes. It's time now to drill through the porcelain, which always makes me nervous. I did not want to crack anything. This is how I go about it. So I have a porcelain bit, a cheap one from Harbor Freight Tools. This is not very good to drill all the way through, but it's really good to create a pilot hole. And then what I'll do is I'll switch over to some bits that have diamonds embedded in them. So they're like keyhole bits with diamonds. And I'll just keep drilling with this until I have the holes all the way through. So the 3 holes are drilled. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone in each of the holes before I attach the rod and the screws. I didn't record attaching the wall track to the wall. Make sure you put the screws into studs. They have to be anchored into studs. Now on to step 3, and it's to carefully place the stationary glass into the wall track, and it's only temporary, and it's very snug fit. It takes me a while here to line it up. But once you line it up, you have to push it into place, and once you push it into place, it will be secure enough for this step. Okay, so the next step is to put in the support bar, which is right here, and the directions say that's D. This distance from here to here is called D, and it says it has to be 1 7/8 to cut. So you have to cut this, and if you can see that there, it's hard to measure this because it's already shorter, but it has to be cut right here. So I just simply mark some tape that I lined up with the edge, and then measured 1 7/8, and I'll make the cut right there. So I need to further point out that on this bar, the support bar, you cut it on the end that does not have the hole. So there's a hole in the center and there's a hole on that end. So you make the cut on, again, the end that is not close to a hole. All right, so I cut the support bar at the correct length, and then I followed directions, page 18, for putting the support bar together with the hardware. And I'm pretty sure I have it in correctly. And just structurally, just so you know, that the support bar, it will be anchored in the wall here. It's not yet, but it will be. And it gets really its strength on this side from the glass. It's not attached to this wall directly, but indirectly through the glass. Now, the next step is to make sure everything is level, which I did. I put a level on top of the glass. And in order to make it level, I had to push back here and also just put a very short shim down there. So I know that's level. And then this bar is also level. And then marking it there. I also will mark the little support on the floor there. And then basically I'll take the glass off, and we will drill some holes to support that and this. So I have my holes marked there and there. So one down there, and 2 up there. And what I do next is this. I use this bit, and this bit is sold at Harbor Freight. You can see that it's been used quite a bit. It's a cheap bit, And I only use this to score the porcelain, just a little divot. And then I'll switch over to a diamond keyhole bit sold at Lowe's to finish it out. So the holes are drilled. I didn't film, but I also drilled down here. And I also did some more work not filmed. And basically, sometimes you just have to do stuff. And I didn't want to worry about the camera and stuff. But I was able to put this piece back in place. And I have the wedge there. It is perfectly level on top. And then I've also run a bead of silicone. I actually did on the below it before I put it in place, and now on each side. So that'll set up, and then where we have the wedge there, that's what I use to level it. Now after the silicone dries, I'll pull that out and I'll just bridge the gap. So the next step for me will be to put in what's called a support bar anchor, and that's this, and the stainless steel tapered screws. So I'll be putting some silicone in those holes first and then attaching this. Okay, the next step I think is the most important step. I almost forgot to read it and do it. And that is that we need to get the main door. I kept it in the box. We need to get it inside of the shower stall because if you put that support bar up here, it's below the height of that. It would be really hard to get it in there. So I've kept it in the box. You can see that I've taken the one side of the box off, and you want to make sure that the whole side, which is here, ends up on the top part. And I'm just going to very carefully keep it in the box and slide it up or off the tip a little bit to get through the door. But I might even slide it in this way and then tip it up and get it in the shower before going any further. Now this is the shower door roller, one of them, there are two. And before I attach them to the actual moving shower door, I want to show you the mechanics of it. Now, you notice on the top that there are two Phillips screws that are adjustment screws, and I'll show about that later. But the center is an Allen screw, and it comes cinched down. And basically this upper roller is going to roll along here. However, the way it comes, there's no way for the shower door to fit on. So what you have to do, and this is in the instructions, is you have to take an Allen key and you have to back it out, and you have to back it out quite a ways. You don't want to lose the Allen screw, but you need to back it out enough to allow the maximum lateral movement here, up and down. And so what's going to happen then, and again, you have to visualize the shower doors here. So as you're coming in, you have to be at an angle like this, and you're going to lift it up and get it up there, and then it's going to want to drop down, and that's the key. Now it is in place, and then obviously once you have the shower door on, you have to tighten this Allen screw so that it cannot come off. Hope that's helpful. So here it is, the finished product. I didn't go into much detail with the video, just some time lapses on the handle and the weather strips, whatever you want to call them. But I think you can figure that out on your own. And for a curbless shower, my wife tried it out this morning and works beautifully. Drains well, shower door doesn't leak, and overall very pleased with how this turned out. I like the height, the 78 inches, and if you're going with a curbless, you really can't go wrong with this, in my opinion. It seems very stable, even though the upper rod only really attaches here and then to the glass. It slides well. There are ways to adjust it. The knobs up here on the back side, the Allen key, you turn that, you can raise and lower certain aspects of the shower door. I didn't have to do that, which tells me that I did a good job on keeping the walls plumb and square and the floor. But it's there for you. Hey, if you got any value at all from this video, please give me a like. It costs you nothing, but is of great value to me. If you're not subscribed to Scott's Garage, please subscribe. Scott's Garage, everything do-it-yourself, including shower doors. And we'll see you in the next video.